Hi there. I don't usually post on here stuff like this. If you follow my Instagram, you've probably seen me play Tomodachi Life. I really gotta update that highlight now that I think about it, but I have a bunch of my OCs. Like this lovely lady right here is my OC Key from my Magical Girl series, and I thought I'd explain a little bit of the lore since we have a couple going on right now with them that is not supposed to happen, so I'm gonna kind of speedrun it because my phone is out of storage. So as we're walking past Zhao from Genshin Impact and Quaxo from Cats, we have our main character, kind of Key, from my series Keys of Light. She's the leader, not leader of a magical girl. Well, there's more than girls, but magical girl inspired group that are all taking this like course in their school, which is a school for students that were specifically picked by the government to go to this school that was going to train up teenagers that just graduated high school to be the next world leaders, because all the nations have been divided because of a war. And the country is like, if Mexico, the United States, and Canada all like combined into one after like World War III, but they're like so closed off. Oh, sorry. And yeah, she's doing great. Her weapon is a sword, so I gave her the toy sword. I thought that would be fitting. And her whole thing is she's a super mega. That's great. And so, so she's super nerdy and like she's such a big fan of magical girl genre. So when she found out that she was a magical girl because otherworldly stuff, this is the worst explanation ever. Oh my god. She was like, "Oh, I know exactly what's going on." And then she failed to remember that in Magical Girl series you have to work together. So she made herself the leader even though she's technically not. That's not how it really works. Um but yeah, there's a bunch of them, so we're gonna speed through them. I think I made them all. I think I always forget one. Don't worry about it. We're gonna be fine. This is our second member of the group, Catherine. You may notice that her room looks like a hospital. That's because in the lore she has a chronic illness, which has led her to be like cooped up in her family home her entire life. So she was like raised like away from people, and she was really like she wanted to make friends and she wanted to go out into the world because of her chronic illness her parents were always like, "Oh no, you can't." But in reality her illness wasn't even that bad. It was like something that she was able to be treated to live a comfortable life when she was a kid, but because her parents were so scared to get her out into the world, she was just kind of isolated. But when the government chose her to go to the school, she was forced to live alone because she's like, what, 21? Because like these are graduates that already had their life a little bit figured out from high school. So like it's just random people. So they're not it's not like a teenage coming of age. It's more of like a finding your space and your life after growing up. They're all animal themed and she's manatee themed, and there's like fictional animals that I'm coming up with, and because she's manatee, she's like the nicest person on the planet, and she's super sweet and she's super pretty, and that's important. Keep that in mind for later. Don't forget that she's like super pretty, but she just wants to make friends, and she is like really open and she's so understanding, but because she doesn't understand social cues she isolates herself a lot, but she wants to make friends. So that's Catherine. Here we go for our next two characters. So I don't know if they're together right now. This is Ashlyn. She is, oh my god, she is, oh my god, if she was with her sister, it would make so much sense, but she has a twin sister. They're fraternal twins, but her sister's named Rose. Ashlyn's deal, we call her Ash or Lynn. She doesn't like the nickname Lynn, but her teachers call her Lynn, which is uncomfortable, but, you know, all her friends call her Ash. And she has, her sorry, her and her twin were taken care of by their older sister, since they were kids, because their parents were always really busy with work and they were basically really neglecting their kids because they didn't want to have kids. So they just kind of left them with a bunch of money and were like, have fun. So one day, their older sister, who I also made, but I don't really want to. Hold on, wait. This is their older sister, Amari. So one day, she disappears, and the government like had the claim that she committed suicide. Sorry, trigger warning. I should probably have put a trigger warning. Um, Spoiler alert: she didn't actually commit suicide. That was like a whole other thing. But hold on, wait. That whole story was made up by the government so that like because Amari knew like information that the government wasn't supposed to know, because it's a dystopian story, don't forget that. But anyway, after they found out, Ash took it upon herself to like provide for both her and her sister, because her sister Rose fell into a deep depression, like that kind where like you can't really, like, you don't want to leave your room and stuff. I'm trying my best to not depict things in a bad way. By the way, I'm studying psychology in college. Don't worry, I'm not like, I'm trying to destigmatize mental health with this story. Don't worry. So yeah, life. What was I saying? Oh my god. Hold on. This is the two sisters. We're gonna get to Rose in a little bit, but basically, because she put a lot of responsibility on herself, she grew up really, really angry and bitter at the world. She didn't allow herself to make friends. She has anger issues. And like people around school were always like, oh my god, don't talk to her. She's like super freaking weird. Also, I made her really short, but like despite her being really short, she can low-key beat you up if she thinks that you deserve it. Anyway, hold on, let's move on to, this is Rose. I keep forgetting to change what her room looks like because it doesn't match her color scheme. She's the purple one. These are all the magical girls, by the way. We're gonna get to the magical guy after this, don't worry. Oh, don't, no, please. Oh my god, I'm running out of space in my room. I'm gonna do a part 2. But this is the first set of girls. Basically, Rose fell into a really deep, like, dark depression because she was there for the incident that caused her, their older sister to be labeled as committed suicide. So she's the one that actually knows that she didn't commit suicide, but she can't say anything because of the government. And after, like, she was chosen to go to this special school thing because she wasn't really doing anything with her life, she was forced to go out into the world and do something with herself. And all of these girls are part of a class that's inspired by my high school peer mediation class that's like helping them with their self-betterment and their mental health. So she starts finding herself and she starts being like happier. And I don't know, I love her me so much. She's so cute. And you might notice that she is really tall. That was not really intentional, but you know, life. She's really tall, and she's supposed to be like kind of pudgy, but you can't really do that with Mies much. They don't end up looking that pudgy. I love her so much. She is my freaking child. She's super sweet. Like, she's the kind of person where, like, if you ask for a hug, she'll give you one, and it's the nicest hug you'll ever experience in your life. And now that she's, like, becoming more independent, Ash also has to face with the fact that she doesn't have to take care of the both of them, and that she can finally be a regular person now, but it's hard on the both of them. Yeah, let's move on to the last guy for today. Oh, frick, well, would you look at that? Sorry, I interrupted you hanging out with... I forget, I think they're dating in this one, but... this is Neil. We're not, no, don't talk to Amari. This is Neil. He is our first magical boy. He's from, in this, the magical system, I'm still kind of figuring out, but basically their magic comes from an alternate world called the Kingdom of Balin, which was destroyed. There's, in the Kingdom of Balin, there's like fictional animals. Hello? Okay, cool. There's fictional animal spirit things that correspond to every person on Earth. And the mental state of someone on Earth reflects on those like animal people in this magical world. And there was 7 rulers of this world. He was the youngest, who were supposed to take care of everything. And he was the youngest, so they wouldn't listen to him. He's kind of supposed to be the generational trauma guy. And when everything started going to freaking crap, he was the one that noticed. But then no one would believe him because he was the youngest, and they're like, oh, you don't understand anything. So then the oldest of them, once everything started dying and the kingdom started falling, they were like, okay, we're gonna make a portal to Earth, and we're gonna send you to Earth, Neil, and you are going to find, and we're gonna reincarnate, and you are going to find, like, not reincarnate, like the power goes to random people on Earth, and you're gonna find the people with those powers, and you're gonna help bring everything back to normal. I don't want to spoil the actually like plot, but whatever, it's fine. So then he goes to Earth, and he's like a background character for the beginning of the story. But then one day, when he notices that the first four are like the magical people, he's like observing and like, okay, I need to somehow get them to, be on my side. And then he sees them doing their thing, and he's like, oh my god, you're doing it so wrong. I'm so angry and salty and disgusted because you are doing everything so incorrectly. So he's that annoying guy that's always trying to mansplain, but he's still a magical boy and he's still good. He just doesn't. Because he got generational trauma from his people back at home, he's like, I know everything. I was the ruler of this. I understand. And then because he's getting to know everyone, he falls in love. He doesn't actually fall in love, but he thinks this is an issue I notice a lot happens in teenagers, so I wanted to include it. He thinks he falls in love with Catherine, if you remember from earlier, this one who's apparently asleep right now. And this one, he actually got a crush on her, and he confessed, and they got together, and they're not getting along, which makes sense because it's not supposed to be a relationship, a romantic relationship. They're supposed to just be friends. And remember, Catherine's the nicest person ever, so she's not going to be rude about it. And yeah, these are my guys. If you have any questions, let me know. I know this was a ramble, but yeah, thanks. Okay, bye.